Goes here. Shook my man and kissed it. This shit. Sure, SM7B. This is like the magnum opus of podcasting. And music too, everything. Just sound quality. You know what I mean? Well, we are recording. So, my boy Tyler, gay ass name. It's gay ass nigga. Tyler Creator, you gay. Gay as fuck, bro. Tyler started with a blog, right? A free mixtape and a group of friends from the internet, right? No label deal, no manager who owned his masters, no investor who needed a return on their investment. Today, he runs a global fashion brand, a music festival that sells out Dodger Stadium, and a label where he controls what gets made and how it sounds. So, no one gave him the blueprint, but he wrote it himself. That's it. That's the episode. That's it. Tyler, the Creator, I came to praise you for what you do. No, you're the epitome of what this channel talks about. Building real legacy over short-term virality and fleeting fame. Just shit doesn't last. You're the epitome of what I'm talking about on this channel, brother. No? Most artists build one revenue stream and then try to monetize it, right? Tyler built like 3 simultaneously and structured them so each one feeds the others. First, Golf Wank. He founded the streetwear brand in 2011 before his music had reached anything close to mainstream. So by the time he blew up, the brand was already real. Golf Wang reportedly generates around $25 million per year in revenue. I never knew this until I started researching for this video. Right? That's crazy. This is something I learned. That number matters because it means his income is not dependent on streaming royalties, label advances, or radio play. The fashion business sustains the operation while the music makes the culture. It's crazy. Second, it's Odd Future Records. Tyler didn't wait for a label to validate him. He used Odd Future as both the creative engine and the business structure. Artists on the label, like Earl Sweatshirt, Frank Ocean, Sid, became superstars. He created a culture and then he monetized the culture's output. Yo, Tyler's really one of them niggas, bro. Each artist elevated the brand, so the brand elevated each artist. Third, Camp Flog Gnaw Carnival. The festival is now a 2-day event at Dodger Stadium, presented with AEG. But here's what's different from most artist-branded festivals. Tyler's not a figurehead, right? He's operationally involved in every way, in every detail of the execution. His partner, Caroline Burris, described it directly. She'd never worked with an artist more involved in the actual details. That hands-on control means the festival reflects the brand precisely every time. Shout out to Tyler, bro. So those 3 pieces of his entire business, fashion, label, festival, they don't compete for attention. They compound each other. So someone who buys Golf Wang is more likely to go to Camp Flog Gnaw. Someone who goes to the festival is more likely to follow the music. Flywheel. It's intentional. Right? So in 2018, Tyler signed with Columbia Records for his major label deal. But the structure matters, right? Columbia also distributed Flower Boy in 2017 before the formal signing. So the relationship was tested before it was formalized. And what Tyler negotiated was a first look deal that includes both Sony Pictures TV and Columbia Records. It's the kind of arrangement that, gives creative direction to the artist, not the label. So a first look deal means the label gets to see what you're making before you take it elsewhere. It does not mean they own what you make. It does not mean they have creative veto authority. They're not the fucking president, right? It means they have access. Fuck. This is not a standard deal. The standard deal takes a percentage of all revenue, often including merch and touring, in exchange for advances and distribution. Tyler's financial infrastructure, Golf Wang, generating $25 million a year. Camp Flog Gnaw, as a separately operated festival, meant he didn't need the label's money to survive. He needed their distribution reach. So when you need the advance, you don't negotiate from desperation. You negotiate from position. Well, when you don't need the advance, I mean, when you need the advance, nigga, you negotiate from desperation, nigga. That's why people sign 360s and shit. Y'all niggas already know. So that's why Tyler's deal looks the way it does, because he did not need the advance. So he negotiated from a place of abundance because he already had it. Negotiate from a top level position where you don't need to accept fucking crumbs in a bad deal. So I just want to tell you, if you're an independent artist, obviously I'm speaking from outside the club, but it's not about avoiding major labels. No, it's about building enough independent revenue that when you engage with institutional players, you do it from strength, not from scarcity or weakness. And Tyler built something in the 2010s that most artists are still trying to figure out in 2026 and beyond. So the blueprint isn't complicated. It has three parts. One, build the culture before you monetize it. Odd Future was a creative community first, back in the Tumblr era. Free mixtapes, adult swim shows. The culture was real before any of it generated significant revenue. So when the money came, it came to something that already had some type of gravity and weight to it. Number two, you got to own the infrastructure, okay? Not just the output, right? Golf Wang is not a merchandise line. It's a fashion brand with flagship stores in major cities. Crazy. Camp Flog Gnaw is not a one-time event. It's a recurring institution. The infrastructure doesn't expire when a single goes cold, when the streams ain't hitting like they used to. Number three, say no to things that don't compound. Tyler has turned down brand deals, collaborations, media opportunities that didn't fit the aesthetic. So that restraint, the willingness to leave money on the table in service of brand coherence, is what makes the brand mean something. Because if you don't stand for something, if you stand for a man that stands for nothing, falls for anything. Okay, that's what it is. I'm fucking tripping. So the dilution of your brand is a slow death, bro. That shit is grueling. The artists who say yes to everything become background noise, bro. Them niggas fly with the wind, nigga. The wind washes these niggas away. So you don't need a label to build a world. You just need a brand, a community, and the discipline to protect both of them. So from Bridgeport, personally, I've watched what happens when people build without that discipline. Their leverage disappears. Their ceiling appears. We should live with no ceilings, brother. The creative control gets traded away in exchange for access. That turns out not to matter in the long run. The label can't give you a career. You can give yourself a career. So Tyler's path is reproducible, okay? It's not easy at all, but it's reproducible, brother. The order of operations is the lesson today. I always talk about sovereignty on this channel. Sovereignty is just control. Oh, it's my girl's hair. Tyler built the blueprint for creative sovereignty like 10 years ago. His brand, the vertical stack of everything he does, the label structure, the festival, none of it happened by accident. Every piece was intentional and every deal was structured from positions of power, not desperation. More hair for my girl. Damn. But here's the question I want you to sit with. All right. Are you building a brand? Or are you just releasing music and hoping it sticks? What are you doing? Drop it below. I'm reading every response. I'm Kai. I'm from Bridgeport. This is the Immortal Blueprint. We're going to be back again. I'm going to see y'all next time. You know what it is. Stop saying yes to everything, brother. Stop saying yes.